Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It is bright and freaking early, man. It's 3:15 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, occasionally I have a day like yesterday where I wake up and I start going through the news feeds. I tell you guys I get up about 1:32 a.m. and I start going through all the news stories of what I'm going to talk about in my video. And occasionally I'll have a morning like yesterday where there's just nothing that really grabs that I feel strongly about. You know, there's nothing on my mind about recovery that I feel the need to talk about. There's nothing in politics that's grabbing my attention or with celebrities, and I have a day like yesterday. Except for the video last night with Miranda Lambert, I did feel strongly. I'm proud of that video. I was a little too open and heartfelt, I think, in it. I don't know, that's neither here nor there. This morning, though, is one of the mornings where I was just dying to get out here, man. It's one of those mornings where my heart starts pounding. I swear to God, and my hands start shaking. And I live alone, and I don't know if a lot of you guys live, if you men and women watching this live by yourselves. But I come across these stories in the morning, and I just get so wound up that I need to talk to somebody about what's going on in my head, the reasoning, what I'm thinking. And that's one of the reasons I have this channel, and that's how I feel this morning. I feel very strongly about these two stories. Jason Aldean, country singer. Yes, I'm going to do another story about a country singer this morning. And I'm going to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy. I believe I'm saying his name right. I don't think I had any respect for Vivek Ramaswamy to begin with, but I have even less. I'm going to have links down below to everything I'm going to talk about today. Let's start with Jason Aldean. He came to my attention last Saturday night. Like I've told you guys, there's no country stations in Connecticut at all. I heard the name Jason Aldean. That's how much of a country music desert this whole area is. I heard the name, and he was supposed to play here at the Music Meadow, the Infinity Theater, I believe it's called now. It used to be called the Meadows, and I had been there dozens of times. And so he played Saturday night, and you guys probably saw this story. The link will be down below. He had to quit the show early because of heat exhaustion. I've told you guys before about how it gets ridiculously humid here. The dew point gets up to like 75. It gets downright tropical here. And I started thinking about that, and I put a few posts on Facebook. I was like, geez, this country boy, and I looked up where he was from, and he's from Macon, Georgia. So I was like, wow, this country boy from way down south, in the hot south, in the hot, dirty south, from Macon, Georgia, couldn't stand the heat up here in little cool old Connecticut, up in New England, or what a wuss. Really, that's what I was thinking, really. I've seen some pictures of this guy. I didn't know what he looked like. I thought like he was a studly guy that all the women swooned over. He just looks like an overweight, pudgy country boy to me. This guy, look, this is neither here nor there. I'm going to get into the story in a second about his song, but right off the bat, he reminds me, I went to a keg party back in my late teens and early 20s, and it was out in the country. We have real country here, not like Macon, Georgia. Real country out here. And I went to a keg party, and I didn't know some of the people there. And this guy came over to me who I had no idea who he was, and he looked just like Jason Aldean. This guy, he reminds me completely of this guy. And this guy was a bully. And he just picked me out of the crowd, and he comes up to me, and he had some kind of issues. He says, this is what he said to me. I still remember this. He says, "Look at my sneakers. You see cow crap on my sneakers?" He thinks I'm calling him a crap kicker, or something like that. Out of the blue. I never met this guy. I didn't know him from Adam. I hadn't even noticed him at the party, and he comes up to me because I'm a tall guy. I'm probably one of the biggest guys at the party, and we had it out. He gave as good as he got. I'll leave it right there. Anyway, okay, so there's another story about Jason Aldean and his new song, which I came across yesterday. The link for this will be down below. I just listened to this. This is the first Jason Aldean song I've listened to ever, and it's called "Try That in a Small Town." And look, I'm going to try to say the good things first. All right. It sounded, if you take aside the backdrop, I'll get to that in a second, and the lyrics, it's a good sounding song. I like the guitars in the song. The guitars I really like. I really like them. Like I said, it's called Try That in a Small Town. And Jason talked, because apparently this video has been pulled off, or the song has been pulled from country music, the country music channels, or CMT it's called, pulled this song because of controversy now. And there's some facts about this song. I guess it's no surprise, or no secret, that Jason Aldean is not a big, he's against Black Lives Matter and Antifa, as they call it. It's anti-fascist, Antifa, not Antifa. But anyway, so in this song, he's showing all video of riots and people robbing grocery stores, and inevitably the perpetrator is always one color and the good guy is another color. So it does have a racist tinge to it. Here's the thing though. This was filmed in front of the Maury County Courthouse in Columbia, Tennessee. And like I said, I was kind of curious, so I looked this up, and Jason Aldean is from nowhere from around there. He's from Macon, Georgia. All right. Now, the whole video mostly is filmed in front of this courthouse. Here's the thing about this particular courthouse, because he's not from this, from what I could see, he's not from this area. He specifically picked this country courthouse. Harry Choate, a black man, 1927, was lynched and dragged through the streets after being accused of attacking a white girl. So apparently, this is a well-known mark in civil rights history, where this terrible thing happened to this black man. So I I looked up where Jason is from. And it turns out he's from Macon, Georgia. I don't know a lot about Georgia, so I looked that up. And it's one of the biggest cities in the state of Georgia. It's like 160,000 people. And I think the white, I'll have the links down below for all these statistics. The Caucasian population is about 35, 36. And the black population is about 54%. So let me get this straight here. Jason Aldean is lecturing people about, don't try this in a small... It's funny, in this song, too, he says something about spitting in the face of police. And I thought about that. And the first thing that came to my head is January 6th, where the people, I imagine that Jason Aldean supports, were hitting cops with fire extinguishers and bear spray and spitting in their faces. And spitting in their faces was the least dangerous, harmful thing that they were doing to cops. So it seems kind of hypocritical here. And like I said, he's from Macon, Georgia. The city I'm living in right now is 60,000 people. Macon, Georgia is 160,000 people. Jason Aldean is more of a city boy than I am a country boy compared to Jason Aldean. And he's saying, don't try this in the small, what a load of crap. If you can't stand the heat, stay out of Connecticut, Jason Aldean. That's the link will be. You can hear the song. The song isn't bad if you take out all the racist lyrics and the racist background. The guitars are actually pretty good. So that's my, and for me, for a country music song, that's a pretty good review. All right, now let's get to Vivek Ramaswamy. This is the one that really got me just bent out of shape this morning. He's doing an interview with Charlie Kirk, and the link will be right down below from Twitter. And the whole thing is just, it's fear-mongering. It's just total crap. He starts talking about how the government and everything that led up to 2020. He says January 6th was just a friendly preview. This is the guy running for president. And he's saying January 6th was just a friendly preview of what's to come. And then he starts saying something, well, I don't support this, but I don't want that. But he's saying that's what's coming. And he starts talking about how people were hiding in their basements, were forced down into their basements and couldn't speak their minds. Well, Antifa and BLM roamed the entire country, burning cities to the ground. What a load of crap. Seriously, that whole time in all of Connecticut, I can only speak for where I live, the whole state of Connecticut, there wasn't one incident here at all. Anything. Nothing burned. I think there was, for the most part, most of this was in Seattle. And I don't know if anything was actually burned to the ground, but You listen to Vivek Ramaswamy, and he's saying, the whole country, many cities were burned to the ground, and good people were forced into their basements. And he says this is all from 2020 and leading up to the year 2020. He specifically says that a couple times in this video. I think he forgot who was president in all those years. He starts putting down Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, but he's specifically talking about the government from the years leading up to 2020 specifically. All the years Donald Trump was president, that we were supposedly, we couldn't say. He says this too. He says that the eve before the 2020 elections, that people like him couldn't even, what did he say? Couldn't even text to other individual media accounts about Hunter Biden. What is he talking about? No, you could text on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, Twitter. You could text anything you wanted about Hunter Biden. He says you couldn't text anything to any individual accounts about Hunter Biden, and people they had their mouths clamped shut. And this is what's going to happen when you clamp people's mouths shut and they can't scream. What a load of crap! And this stuff about being locked in the basement and the government making us hide in the basement. Did he forget that it wasn't just America? This was a worldwide pandemic. France, China, England, Germany, all the same thing. As a lot of them more strict than America was, as far as not even being able to leave the house, actually being locked in the house. But he makes this all sound like, in America, we were all locked in our basements, and it was just America. What a load of bull, man. And then he starts getting into the vaccine. And now he's really pissing me off. I'm going to say it again. I'm sorry if you heard this before. The love of my life, my soulmate, my girlfriend, believed the stuff that this guy was saying. She didn't, he says it in this video, he says that everybody had to get the shot. You had no choice. Yeah, my girlfriend listened to people like you, Vivek Ramaswamy, and she didn't get the shot. And she got COVID. Like I've told you guys before, she moved to Jacksonville, Florida. She texted me all the way down. I was watching over her. I told her I'd go down and see her and move down. I'd eventually move down there with her. And within a day or two of getting there, she got sick. This is right when the Delta variant exploded in Jacksonville. And she was on a ventilator before I could even talk to her on the phone. And she died August 5th. 2021, because she listened exactly to guys like this. I remember when I left her, the last time I ever saw the person I love most, my soulmate, we gave each other a hug, and we weren't wearing masks, and that's when this first subject first came up, and this was the summer of 2021. And I was like, geez, we don't have a mask on. And then she said, did you get the shot? And I said, yeah, of course I got the shot. And she says, no, everybody's saying, I don't believe in it. She actually said that to me. And so she believed what these people were saying, and she is dead now because of people like this. This is all just fear-mongering. Watch the video. There's just so many examples where he's saying that all these cities were burned to the ground by Antifa, and we were all locked up. All of America was locked in their basement for the years leading up to 2020, and you couldn't text anything about Hunter Biden to your friend. What is he living in the Twilight Zone? What a bunch of crap, man. All right, like I said, I'm sorry. I really wanted to do a little more mellow video, but I got so angry when I listened to this jerk off this morning. Have a good Wednesday.